Alright, let's talk about the build I'm going to play this season. It's going to be a Warlock. Not much HP, so I need to probably get some vigorous prefixes or whatever, and some health on my gear somewhere, because it's pretty low on the HP mark. Um, it is a cold bloody pox build. They buffed the axe that I'm using, so this is going to be 82% total damage modified, 100% of the poison converted to cold, 100% of the vitality converted to cold, and minus cold res. So just basically focusing on Bloody Pox, getting Aspect of the Guardian, Blood of Dreeg, and Vulnerability. In the Arcanist tree, getting Panetti's, specifically for the Frostburn dot. So Frostburn and Lightning, like Electrocute, are the two types of damage you want to focus on in the this tree because you're getting 159% total damage modified and it has a 3.6-second cooldown. So you want to basically use this just to get that big dot, that big cold dot. Getting this for the 100% pass through, electrocute damage, and this just makes it spread even more, just one pointing in this. OFF, I probably put a little more points in this if you can find them at some point for this area of effect, but this gives minus cold res and a little bit of minus freeze res, so you can actually keep hitting it. And Bloody Pox also gives minus freeze res. They didn't nerf the minus freeze res on Bloody Pox, but they did nerf the minus freeze res on OFF because OFF naturally has minus freeze res now. A little bit, you don't really need the points in this. You could put a few more points in this for that extra dot damage, but the main reason for OFF is to have another source of minus cold res. 12 or 14 points in this, as usual. Probably drop this down to 12 or no 13 to get the 11% damage reduction. You don't really need this to max out. This gives you casting speed and energy, so I'd probably drop this somewhere. Um, this is just kind of a one-pointer to get that bonus damage against ethereals and chthonics, which is kind of nice. Might want to drop this down, but having the save button is nice. Having the maximum offensive ability and Aether Res is also nice here. As far as devotions, we're just going kind of defensive cold. So we're not going any big tier 3 cold devotions. Um, but we take Rumor, putting it on Panetti so it'll pretty much always proc. Putting Curse of Frailty on our Rowan's Crown. Getting this, getting the Barrier, getting the Retaliation Glare kind of thing to get another source of dot damage, which is pretty nice. Getting the Shield, getting Dryad's Blessing for the armor and the heal on top of Blood of Dreeg, and then just popping Bloody Pox on Blizzard. So every time Bloody Pox crits, it's going to, you know, drop a Blizzard on things. And yeah, it's fairly simple here. And it already has 2700 OA without any affixes on the gear. So if you can pump that up a little bit, if you can get a few like percent OA gear pieces or plus like 100 OA, that'd be good. The problem is like this is from the new act, 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 this is from like act 5 or no act 6 actually technically. This is from the new act. This is from the new act. This is from the new act. So almost all the gear is from the new act. So how we're going to be leveling it would be something like this. You start by using Krog's Skull, and then when you push up to the two guys, you're going to get the Fiery Arm, the Shambler's Heart, and the Fiery Arm. So you'll have this all before you fight Krieg. After you fight Krieg, like once you hit like level 18 or so, I believe. Is this 18? No, it's 20 because of the thing, but I believe it's level 18. Once you hit level 18 or something, go farm another one and then put the components on it. for each of them. You'll get Martin's Crest when you push through, um, what's it called? When you push through Cronley's thing, because it's 100% drop. And the main reason we want it is because of crit damage and fire. You're going to hope for some type of good resistances on here. And this part is you're just running Kalidor's Tempest at the start. Kalidor's Tempest is really solid for the initial push. You want to get Maven's Sphere pretty early because it's damage reduction. You pretty much have to max out Inner Focus because of the additional Spirit, and you really need to get Mental Alacrity as fast as possible because of the reduced cost, because Kalidor's Tempest runs through you. And because of that, how you're starting with your devotions is, of course, starting Jackal and then moving into Turtle. And then from Turtle, you're going to be moving towards Kalidor's Tempest. But because we're a cold build, we're going to swap out around level 35 to the Spectral Bludgeon. You can do this at like 25 if you go get the Rothel's Tome early, but if you go after you're like level 20 something, you're not going to be able to get this. You're going to get the 35 drop. So you're going to get the Spectral Bludgeon and this, and you're going to turn this into Trojan Sky Shard with OFF as your clear. Just get this +1 Arcanist necklace from the Spider Boss. Make sure you do the Find the Sister quest so you can get the scale, and then craft an Arcanist belt. In this case, you're going to be running. You're still going to have your 20 spirit because you need the mana regen, but you're going to be pumping everything else into physique at this point. On this one, you went like 20 physique, 20 spirit to get to that point. And the build, you're still just pushing this normally, still got that maxed out, still got this maxed out, but you've taken the points out of Mental Alacrity and Kalidor's Tempest, put some points into OFF for you want this to have a high area of effect, you want to max this out. Like, these are the things you max out first. You max out OFF first. Then you max out Trozen. Like, max out not the base skill first. You want to put 1 point in the base skill, and then max out Frozen Core, and follow that by maxing out the base skill. You put points in Shattered Star later. Like, Shattered Star is not as important to put points into. It's better to put points into Star Pack before you put points into Shattered Star. But it's like 1 point, max out, like 5 or 10 points depending on how much area you need, and then max out Star Pack. And then that's how this is, getting to start. Again, you might also want to just drop Star Pack down to 13 instead of 14, because you don't get that +1 skill cooldown reduction until 15 points. But yeah, and that's this kind of thing for this character. And then you're going to be using, for your components here, you're going to be using Greater Ice Spike and, what's it called? Chilling Weapons. So your spam ability is going to be Greater Ice Spikes. And you're going to be dropping Sky Shard on, strong enemies. And you're just going to be OFFing when you get in the room, when you walk through rooms, because that'll clear entire rooms. As long as they don't have heavy freeze reduction. And we've removed the points from the crossroad at this point, taken points into Eel, taken points into Dryad, moved on to points from here, got 3 points into Behemoth, got our Rumor, and we've got Arcane Barrier. This is some of the big changes we made here. And then this will lead us, like the reason we swapped from Kalidor's Tempest is because this is for hardcore. If you're not playing hardcore, it's fine to just stay with Kalidor's Tempest. But having the range is really nice on this because it's still kind of squishy to stay up close. So being able to attack from range is really nice. And then eventually swapping into this once we get into Act 8. I'll put all the Grim tools for all 3 of these things into the links. And I'll see y'all at League Start. I'm going to do a little bit more practice on setting this up today.